Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it. Relax those eyelids, close those eyes. And as you do so, just feel a wonderful feeling of letting go. Breathing in resourceful relaxation, exhaling tension. And scan your body for any clues of tension, perhaps in your neck or your shoulders, any of those tiny muscles in the face. Breathing in relaxation, exhaling that tension. Feel the tension leaving your body. As you breathe in and breathe out, just feel tension in your jaw and forehead melting away, enabling you to breathe in deeper and exhale deeper. Remember a time when you had an enjoyable yawn, and feel just within your imagination how good it would be to have a long yawn. Imagining that yawn releases pent-up tension and stress as you feel that stress leave your body in the next outward breath. Breathing in, breathing out. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a botanical garden, perhaps on a summer's day or in a tropical country. I want you to imagine a garden full of brightly colored flowers, palm trees, tropical plants, all the different species you could imagine. You could imagine butterflies and birds. Imagine the vividness of the colors. And just imagine there is a comfortable bed there in the middle of that botanical garden. Imagine lying on the bed, feeling the sun on your skin, feeling that you can drift off into a state of pure relaxation. All tension melting away. As I count down from 5 to 1, you will imagine falling asleep, safely and protected, on that bed in that botanical garden. 5, just releasing all tension around your face, jaw. 4, neck and shoulders all the way down to your arms. Just feel limp, loose and heavy. 3, internal organs all start to relax, especially your lungs and diaphragm, releasing any tension in the gut. 2, feel your legs limp, loose, heavy, completely relaxed. And then 1, just feel a ripple of relaxation going from your toes to the tip of your head, the tips of your fingers and back again. Feeling a wonderful feeling of calm relaxation on that bed in that garden. And imagine drifting off into a dreamlike sleep. And in that dreamlike sleep, I want you to imagine what it would be like to be a flying insect in that botanical garden. I want you to see the beautiful flowers that you're drawn to. But I also want you to imagine there is something that doesn't look like a flower, but seems to be even more alluring. I want you to imagine there is something that has a particular smell that feels incredibly desirable. and you're willing to shift your attention away from those flowers towards this unique, unusual thing that seems to be so alluring. As you get closer, there's a feeling of connection, of desire, something irresistible about this strange plant. As you get closer, you notice there are a stickiness on the inside, but tiny hairs. I want you to imagine you touch one of the hairs and nothing happens. But then suddenly you touch a second hair and you feel like your world is closing in. You're becoming boxed in. I want you to feel that you are in a Venus flytrap that is now closing in upon you. I want you to feel this desperate desire to get away. You are fighting for your life, and you manage to find a tiny gap right there, and you can get enough of your body out of the edge to just squeeze your way out of this now closed Venus flytrap. Had it been just a second longer, and this plant would have eaten you alive, melted all of your tissue away, had you trapped to an imminent death. But I want you to feel that you are not resentful for the plant. It is the nature of a Venus flytrap to catch flies. It is genetically programmed to do that. The smell that comes from the inside of its mouth is designed to be alluring. The hairs are designed to trigger the closing response. The digestive fluids that come from the roots up are all designed to do that. How could you possibly be angry or resentful at a Venus flytrap doing exactly what it's always done? But I want you to feel that you are now the wisest fly in the garden. Because what was alluring before is now a warning. Imagine you spend some time to recover, to reflect on what was it that made that strange plant so alluring. But now, through the lens of self-protection, you've got the ability to see the warning signs that were invisible before. It took the lucky escape, the near miss, to have the sufficient wisdom to make different choices and decisions. It can feel frustrating to be boxed in no-win situations, and being a fly in a closed flytrap is certainly a no-win situation. But how can you blame the plant if it's just doing what it always does? Consider yourself the wisest insect in the garden. I want you to get a sense that from this point on, you will imagine that all toxic relationships are like a Venus flytrap, alluring yet dangerous, reminding you to be vigilant and cautious. Recognize the seductive scent of the flytrap, symbolic of the initial charm of a toxic relationship. And you choose to keep a safe distance. Feel empowered to notice the triggering hairs of the trap, symbolizing a lack of empathy and no-win situations, and consciously step back. When you sense the familiar lure of high volatility, it is now no longer exciting and dramatic, just a signal to walk away, just as you now would from the Venus flytrap's enticing smell. In the past, a near miss gave you wisdom, and this is no different, guiding you to identify and avoid the hidden dangers of a toxic relationship. Imagine a shield around you when you perceive the signs of a toxic partner, just as you would protect yourself from a dangerous plant. Your wisdom gives you the ability to see beyond surface appearances, discerning the Venus flytrap to a seemingly beautiful flower. Let your intuition be as sharp as the awareness of an insect near a Venus flytrap, sensing a lack of compromise and withdrawing in time. The red flags that you now notice will keep you safe. You needed this lucky escape to give you a sense of discernment in any future relationship. Feel a sense of control and choice, and acknowledge the lessons learned from past experiences, using them as a radar to detect and avoid the deceitful beauty of what could be a toxic relationship. In the Venus flytrap, one hair does nothing at all, and two hairs closes to a potential death. So allow any experiences in the future of the very first hair being triggered as a trigger for intense desire and compulsion to get away. Strengthen your resolve to prioritize your well-being, just as you would avoid the scent and allure of the Venus flytrap. When you start thinking of previous relationships, decide now in advance what becomes the alluring smell. What can you now frame as a clue that there is a potential trap? And trust your inner voice to identify the signs of a dangerous liaison. All of your past experience has given you wisdom. You are now wiser than ever before. You've never been in such a good position to now decide to gravitate towards the beautiful flowers and avoid the rarer but more alluring Venus flytraps. Be grateful for the near miss, the lucky escape, as you consider what could have been a future had you not made your lucky escape. Venus flytrap doesn't change its nature. the scorpion doesn't change its nature. And many people just are who they are. And when they show you who they are, believe them, not by what they say, but what you observe with your own eyes and experience. And when they show you a lack of empathy, a lack of honesty, a lack of compassion or understanding, believe them. Believe that that is their nature, and that the best thing you can do is to walk away. You can want a Venus flytrap to be a flower, and you could want a rabid dog to be a gentle puppy. But when you observe what they really are, the goal is not to change them. It's to act in accordance with what you know to be true. So embrace the wisdom gained from past experiences and use it as a compass to navigate away from the dangers and towards what you now know to be, what you want and need in this botanical garden of your future. Imagine flying back to a person lying on a bed in a garden. As you touch their head, become that person. Feel that you are now them, lying on a bed, but feel that you are wiser now, grateful for the lucky escape, and more aware as to the dangers of an alluring trap. As you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose, you return to the present as you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, fully connecting with the present moment, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, relieved, wiser, more aware as to how to navigate the botanical garden of your future. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.